Hello and welcome to the Met Office 10-day trend. After what's been so far a pretty blustery and often rather gusty June, something much more summer-like, you might say, has arrived on our shores. Yes, we are in for some higher temperatures over the coming days. It is going to be hot, especially in the south, but not for all. Now, as always, this is just a 10-day trend. We're not talking about specific details. If you want those, well, stay tuned to the forecast. Day on day will give you more. But generally, yes, we are expecting, particularly in the south, some higher temperatures. And the peak of those temperatures probably through the weekend into the early part of next week before we then see more of a change later next week. It seems a bit strange to be talking about hot weather, and then the first chart I show you is going to be about a cold front. But it's important to note that after the warmth of Wednesday, and particularly Wednesday night, it is going to turn a little fresher through the rest of the working week. Certainly on Thursday, notice the warmer air, the yellows and the oranges being pushed away, and we're all across the UK back into the fresher conditions. However, behind me, there's another wave of warmth waiting out in the Atlantic, and this will waft its way across the UK as we run through Friday. Temperatures will rise, and then particularly into the weekend, the orange colours across especially England and Wales. But here's the key. Notice there's a contrast. Across Scotland in particular, we're still in the cooler air here, the cooler colours, whereas the warmth is mostly across the south. And there will be a big temperature contrast as a result. On Sunday in the south, we are likely to reach 30 degrees, possibly a touch more in one or two places, whereas across Scotland we'll probably still be in the teens. Now, there is some uncertainty about where this boundary is going to be through the weekend, and that's because of where the position of this weather front is. That is crucial. Now, there's more information about why there's uncertainty about the weather front tied into actually what's going on in the United States elsewhere on our YouTube channel. But that is the big uncertainty through the weekend, but generally high pressure holding on in the south, and then into next week, how that high starts to move away. That's the big question mark, and there is the chance that as it starts to pull away to the east, even warmer air, look at the red colours here across Spain and Portugal, start to drift their way up towards the UK. So we could see even higher temperatures through the early part of next week, Monday and Tuesday, but again, only really across England and Wales. Further north, you'll notice we've still got that big contrast. It could stay cool pretty much throughout the next week or so across parts of Scotland. Now, I'm going to show you quite a complicated graph here that sort of demonstrates the difference quite nicely. These are meteograms, and they're showing the temperature trend. The one across to the top of the screen, that's for Glasgow. The one to the south is for Reading. Now, the red blobs, that's the temperature, the maximum temperature, and along the bottom we have the date. So you can see here for Reading, the maximum temperatures are expected to rise through Friday and into the weekend and stay pretty high into Monday and Tuesday. Now, the wider the blob, the greater the uncertainty. So you can see that by the time we get to Monday and Tuesday, the uncertainty is growing. It could still be pretty hot, but there's a chance the temperatures could be dropping off. And then there's a more definite trend to something a little cooler through Wednesday and Thursday, although we're, again, looking a long way ahead here, so there is a lot of uncertainty. Further north across Scotland, as we've already discussed, we don't really get that rise in temperatures very much. And again, the uncertainty becomes more obvious here sooner. By Sunday and Monday, there's a greater spread in the potential temperatures. I'm going to show you now what one computer model is suggesting may happen next week with the warmth. Notice this is Wednesday, still the warm colours across England and Wales, still cooler across Scotland and Northern Ireland. But run through the sequence Thursday and then Friday, and that warmth has been moved away out into the continent. Just run through that sequence again. So still warm, potentially on Wednesday across England and Wales, and then it turns cooler for most places by Friday. Now, this is the summer, and when we get hot weather, that can often then lead, as we turn into cooler conditions, to thunderstorms. So there is the potential, as we see that change at some point next week, of seeing some lively action and some fireworks going off in the sky. So there could be some big thundery downpours around through particularly the middle part of next week. As I said at the start, this is just a 10-day trend. A lot can change. There's always going to be uncertainty. So stay tuned to the forecast. We'll keep you updated. And there is more, as I said, on our YouTube channel.